Hello guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Temokem. Welcome to today's video. And so in today's video, we shall be looking at 5 things that you should be able to know just before you make the move of traveling out of your country. Alright guys, please remember to share this video, subscribe to our channel, like the video, and also do not forget to press the notification bell so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. And so just a quick reminder, remember that the DV 2023 American Lottery is officially open. I think it started from the 6th of October this month and it runs through to the 9th of November. So please make out time to register because you might be the next winner. DV 2023, we shall be doing a video on that, but this video is specifically for a different purpose. However, we shall be doing a video on the DV 2023 lottery. If you want to register, if you want to know what is necessary for you to get registered, then check out on our channel because we shall be doing a video with regards to that. All right, without much ado, let us go into the very 5 things that you should be able to understand just before you make the move out of your country. And so number 1, you should understand the status under which you are traveling, because so many persons are very excited about traveling that they fail to understand that you don't just stay in a foreign land as if to say you're in your home country. I mean, even in your country where you reside, as in your home country, your country of birth, your nationality, I think you don't just go about so free without possessing some identification. And so it is very important, especially if you intend to travel, to understand the status under which you are traveling. Please don't be misled by maybe some agents or whichever persons that would not tell you the realities as to how you are going to live. You should be able to understand how you'll be traveling. First of all, are you going to be traveling as a worker? Then you must have obtained an employment visa. Are you going to be going as a tourist? Then you must understand the duration of your stay. Are you going to be going as a student? Then you must understand the conditions under which you are going to be living as a student. Or are you going to be traveling to seek for an asylum? Because so many persons today, let's be very frank with each other, so many persons today are living abroad as asylum seekers. They're living abroad as refugees per se. But then this was never their intention, because they were not even aware that this is how they are going to be able to live, or this was the only option for them to stay legal in the supposed country. But because they were not told the truth by maybe some agents or whichever persons, they end up finding themselves in such situation. I'm not saying that being a refugee or being an asylum seeker or whatever is a very bad thing, but I'm saying that you should be able to understand the conditions or the status under which you are going to stay in the supposed country, so that you don't go there illegal, so that even if before you go to a particular place, your mind is made up knowing that this is how I'm going to live in this country as or with this particular status, and this is how I'm going to go about my activities. Because mind you, because of your status, there are so many things that you have limits to based on the status you have. For example, if you are a student, there are certain things that you cannot do because you are a student. If you are an asylum seeker, or if you're a refugee rather, there are certain things that you cannot do because you are a refugee. And so please, it's very important to know the status under which you are traveling. Point number 2, you must be able to understand the culture of this country you intend to travel to. Don't be fooled, don't get deceived by the name of a country. Don't get deceived, because we know that there are some countries that are known to be big countries in quotes, the developed countries. You should be able to understand that the culture of a country plays a very important role as to your success in that particular country. Then this goes specifically or mostly for those of us who are traveling or we intend to travel for economic reasons. You must be able to understand that a country's culture, the way the people behave, the way the people accommodate others, their hospitality, their language, even their way of life is very important. And so you must be able to assess a country critically to be able to understand how welcoming this country is. How do they treat, what is their history with regards to treating or handling migrants, with regards to treating or handling foreigners. You must be able to understand those things that the country is known for, because generally there are some countries, without mentioning any names, that are well renowned for, human rights violation, most especially towards foreigners, most especially towards immigrants. And so you must be able to understand the country's culture, how they behave, what are the things that you are going to be able to do in that country because you are a foreigner. What are the things that you are also not going to be able to do because you are a foreigner? Are these things right? Are these the conditions under which you would like to stay? If yes, okay, but if not, then you should have everything. So you must be able to understand the culture of this country. If the country doesn't speak a language that you speak, then you should consider maybe learning the language just before you make the move. Or you should understand that upon arrival you'll be faced with a lot of challenges simply because you are not able to speak the language. And so point number 3, you must understand the economy of this country. Now, statistics has shown that most of us that travel, especially those of us who live Africa back home, coming over maybe to Europe, to America, whichever part of the world you intend to travel, statistics have shown that most of us travel for economic reasons. And so you must be able to understand the economy under which the supposed country operates. What are the things that you are going to be able to do? How good is the economy? How stable is the economy? Is the economy such that there are a lot of opportunities, especially for migrants? Because mind you, because a country is generally a developed country, has a high or a larger economy than maybe most of African countries, doesn't necessarily mean that there are opportunities. So you should understand that, or you should understand how the economy operates. If the economy is such that grants opportunities to migrants, if it is such that when you get there, if you are going for an economic reason, you'll be able to have opportunities to work, and how are the working conditions going to look like, you should be able to understand all these things, because it will be very disturbing, very uncomfortable per se, to go to a country hoping, to find maybe better opportunities, and only for you to arrive and find out that there are actually opportunities, but then these opportunities are not being given to you because of your status. And so this is going back to the first point anyway. So you should understand how the economy operates, how open is the economy, especially for a migrant like you. And so the point number 4 that you should understand, and it's a point that many people neglect at the beginning, but then during the course of their stay in whichever country they choose to go, they have so many regrets, and this has to do with the climatic conditions of the supposed country. You shouldn't take this point for granted, guys. You should be able to understand the climatic conditions of the supposed country. How good is the climate? Is it adaptable? Is it such that you're going to be able to cope? Because remember, the climate plays a very big role to your health, and of course your health is your wealth, because without your health you're not going to be able to work. Without your health you cannot go about your daily activities. Without your health you just cannot do anything right without a very good health. And so the climate plays a very important role with on your health. So you must be able to understand the climatic conditions. Maybe if you are a patient, you have some health conditions that do not permit you to stay maybe in a country that has so much cold, then consider changing that country, or consider thinking of other options, or consider maybe how you're going to stay with those maybe harsh weather conditions. Please guys, it is very important, but most persons take it for granted, and they only get to have these regrets or only when they find themselves in these kind of conditions. I mean, I quite remember the first time I came to Europe. It wasn't very easy. I had a lot of challenges with the climate. Okay, I wasn't a patient, or I didn't have maybe some health conditions, but I found so many difficulties, and I know so many persons also who had a lot of challenges with their health just because of the climate. So please take note, the climate is very important. You should be able to understand the climatic conditions, understand how the climate functions, if it is favorable for you or if it is not. And so guys, the last point, the point number 5 that you should be able to understand, is the living standard of this country. What is the living standard? Because everything being equal, a country with a higher living standard might mean that you too are going to have a higher living standard. So we have a lot of persons back home in Africa per se, who have very established businesses, very established jobs that earn good salaries, that make so much profit from their businesses, but because they lack knowledge, they lack this orientation, they tend to abandon these their already well established jobs, well established businesses with, you know, some quite considerable living standard for something that they don't even know about. Just because you hear that okay, this country, the living standard is good, does not also mean that you're going to have a better living standard. Look, all these points go alongside each other. You should be very keen, you should be very critical when it comes to your analysis. Understand the economy, or rather understand the standard of living under which the country operates. Once more, mind you, because a country has a good living standard does not mean that you are also going to find it very easy settling in that country. So once more, and just to give a rundown of all the 5 points, because they are very intertwined, you should understand your status, because it is very important, because with your status it determines the limitations that you are going to have. Understand your status under which you are going to stay, understand the culture of this country, how they behave, the language they speak, how hospitable they are. Understand the economy under which this country operates. Is it economically viable? Even if it's economically viable, is it migrant friendly? You should be able to know this very well. Understand the climatic conditions of this country that you intend to travel to. How well or how good is the climate? Is it one that can easily be, or is easily adaptable? And lastly, once more, understand the living condition, the living standards of this particular country. And so guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember, like I said at the beginning of the video, we shall be making another video that has to do with the US Lottery 2023. So officially it is open. It began on the 6th of this month, October, and it runs through to the 9th of November. So please, we shall be making a video. Check in our video description. You shall see that you shall find the link to that video. And also, please, once more, remember to share this video, subscribe to our channel, like the video. Please leave a comment in the comment section as to what you think. Are there any more points you feel as if, or you feel that you should be able, that we should be able to understand before we make a move out of our country, for our brothers that are back home, even for those who are in certain countries and who are finding it difficult and who would like to move to other countries. All right, guys, thank you once more. Until next video, bye bye.